Like crowd.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be very hard to do that.
They backed the ham radio.
They did it while the guy was starting, he'd already got
He barely made it.
one of the approved, and they implemented the changes. But they even changed it only after a special session.
Well, I'm happy to look at the original.
I think it would be, I'm thinking of corridor of the. If it's legal, it's right to do that.
It's on for school, so.
You know what?
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Think of that.
By the way, I was talking to Brian on the way down here, and so y'all know, y'all missed they
Call the meeting to order. Ask everybody to stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mayor Corbett.
Here.
Alderman Matthews.
Here.
Alderman Silver.
Here.
Alderman Spicer.
Here.
Alderman Wall.
Here.
Need to adopt the agenda. We got a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the minutes from the July 18th Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. We got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, welcome our visitors. Public comment section. We have two people signed up to speak. We have Angie Taylor. Kate, what's the?
My name is Indiana Taylor, and I live at 3449 Costa Road, and the Greenway crosswalk that is passes 31W, the warning lights have been broken for a while, and as someone who runs there every day, I was just wondering if we could get that fixed. I know it's not a top priority, and I understand that, but just something to think about. Thank you.
Thank you. And Libby Taylor.
I'm Libby Taylor. I live on 449 Costa Road. So I run the Greenway, and whenever I get to the top of the hill at Revolution Church, the water fountains aren't working, and I don't know, I like to drink water, and whenever I run 2 miles and I'm really thirsty, I can't drink water. Thank you.
Thank you. I actually mentioned that to Kevin some time ago, and he said they were going to have to send their own guys out to fix it, I guess. Thank you for letting us know. Public hearings. We have ordinance 24-09, an ordinance amending Article 4 and Article 5 of the zoning ordinance concerning permitted uses and special exception uses. Open the public hearing. Nobody signed up to speak, so we'll close it. Ordinance 24-10, an ordinance amending the zoning map from Robertson County R20 low density residential to C2 general commercial at 2813 Highway 31W. Open public meeting. Nobody signed up to speak, so we'll close it. Communication. Alderman Wall.
Nothing today.
Alderman
Nothing for me.
Alderman Spicer.
Well, I think we need to recognize Jerry. Didn't you just get an award? What was it for again?
Administrator of the Year for the state of Tennessee.
Administrator of the Year for the state of Tennessee. Congratulations.
That's what we need.
We need a proclamation.
And is that the first time for the city?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Alderman Matthews?
I just want to thank Isaiah and his team again. They're continuing to work on the stormwater issues, and they're doing an excellent job. They've had numerous, I guess, issues to deal with, and I think Isaiah's doing a phenomenal job.
Thanks, sir.
Yep. I'll echo that. I'm proud of you shutting down people that are not in compliance too. I mean, I think that's the only way it's gonna.
That word's getting around town, by the way.
Yep.
I had a citizen ask me about it a couple of days ago, and they were quite happy about that.
A little help from our friends too, to spread the word.
I've been quite happy with his work too.
City Attorney,
I don't have anything.
City Administrator.
Yeah, yes, sir, I do. Both Robertson and Sumner counties have passed their budgets. Robertson County budgeted $25,000 for our library construction, and that came from Commissioner Don Eden. He requested that they set aside 10 years of contributions, and this is, I think, is year 9. Sumner County Commissioner Wes Wynn was able to use a portion of the county's American Recovery Act fund to set aside $225,000 towards the Southern Force Main collection line project to help fund the Sumner County portion of that pipeline. He sent me an email on that yesterday, and I spoke with the Sumner County grant writer today about the process needed to receive those funds, so we'll actively pursue those. Staff has met with TEMA representatives concerning the flooding issues we've experienced in May and June. They sent me information this afternoon that we would be eligible to apply for a mitigation grant for a limited detail study. They're willing to help us with the grant and offered us various options, so we'll review it and get some guidance from them, and then we'll probably be bringing it back to this board. And then Isaiah and I met with Mr. and Mrs. Kelly today at the dairy farm. We reviewed the stormwater issues they wanted us to look at, and after our discussion, Mr. Kelly advised that he would sign off on the parcels we needed for right-of-way for the State Route 76 and Pleasant Grove Road intersection. He's kind of holding that up until we talk to him about the flooding issues. Once signed, that would be the last of the right-of-ways that we would need to purchase on that project. So that concludes my report, Mayor.
Need to acknowledge our reports. Motion.
Motion to acknowledge and file the report.
All right, we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no resolutions tonight, so consideration of the following ordinances. Ordinance 24-09, an ordinance amending Article 4 and Article 5 of the zoning ordinance concerning permitted uses and special exception uses, second reading. We got a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, second?
Second.
Roll call?
Alderman Matthews,
Aye.
Alderman Silver,
Aye.
Alderman Spicer,
Aye.
Alderman Wall,
Aye.
Mayor Corbett.
Aye. Ordinance 24-12, an ordinance abandoning the city's 30-foot easement for the right-of-way over the unimproved western section of Cardinal Drive and the appurtenances thereto. First reading. Got a motion?
There should be ordinance 24-10.
Did I skip one?
Yeah.
Sure did.
I was like, where you at?
All right.
You
we'll
got
come back to ordinance 24-10. Ordinance amending the zoning map from Robertson County, R3, low-density residential to C2, general commercial at 2813 Highway 31W, second reading. Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Roll call?
Alderman Matthews,
Aye.
Alderman Silver,
Aye.
Alderman Spicer,
Aye.
Alderman Wall,
Aye.
Mayor Corbett.
Aye. Ordinance 24-11, an ordinance establishing the tax rate for the tax year 2024. First reading. That's a good one.
Yep. Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
As far as I know, Jason's gonna come up with, after we reviewed, the loan that we took out for the 6 road projects, we initially thought we would have to go up about 17 cents, but after Jason reviewed it, we're at, I think, 6 cents. So that takes our Sumner County from $1.33 down to 89 cents. And I think our Robertson County then went up from 83 to 89. So Jason can answer any of those questions we have for that.
Yes, the total assessment increased significantly. We kind of figured that, but just using conservative estimates, the 17-cent estimate that we had before, I feel like was extremely conservative, kind of worst case scenario, assuming no change in the total assessments, but obviously the more improvements that people do to their property, the higher the assessment value is going to be. And then, you know, compounded versus how many of our parcels we have. I think we have probably 5,000 parcels or 6,000 parcels, I think, between both counties. But the rate did not, as Jerry said, did not go up 17 cents. It's 5.7 cents is wound up needing to be in order to cover the debt that we have. The average annual debt service for the bond that we issued is a little over $1 million per year for 12 years. It's $1,080,000 is about what it's going to wind up being each year. And this increase, I just figured it up real quickly. It's on a $300,000 residential property, would equate to about $43 additional taxes per year.
With the tax increase, how much additional revenue are we bringing in just for the tax increase adjustment each year?
I tried to mirror that with the needs of the debt, so it should be a little over $1 million additional revenue. Because that tax increase was only for that debt. It wasn't supposed to be for anything else. So that's how I figured that. There's the calculations that the state sends us for the equalized tax rate. Once you get the equalized tax rate, then you figure out what your revenue needs are, and that's what I figured it up to be, just to match what we had projected, what we're going to need to cover the debt plus other.
And that's in your debt services budget? Is that right?
The
$1 million of revenue?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's in the debt services budget.
Any other discussion on it?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Ordinance 24-12, an ordinance abandoning the city's 30-foot easement for the right-of-way over the unimproved western section of Cardinal Drive and the appurtenances thereto for first reading. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Mark and Robert Johnson own the surrounding properties, and this property was platted in 1967, I do believe. And this has never been used. They own all the surrounding property, and so they asked that we quitclaim this or abandon this right away to them in exchange for an easement that we need for the Pleasant Grove property, Pleasant Grove extension, just for an easement rather than us paying them for that. And so since we're not using this, thought it was a good idea, and so that's what we would like to do.
Sounds to me.
What was that originally supposed to be there for?
And if you look at the very, I guess, southern part where it says 30-foot or 50-foot gravel road, again, where it is upside down, but it's gravel road. That is actually Cardinal Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cardinal comes out and then it comes to stage. Those homes that are like listed as lots alongside with the red outline, 145 and whatever those numbers are, those have never been built. So that house is still there with the pond out front, so it never got built. So that's what they're asking. That's something that was meant for a future extension into another subdivision, but it's not happening. It hasn't happened, and it may end up being industrial in the future anyway.
And if they sold it to a developer and we were to make a subdivision out of it, of course they would have to have right of way as part of that. So
Right.
it's right now a road to nowhere.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Wait a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 24-13, an ordinance amending the municipal code title 18, chapter 4, stormwater management, section 18-408, first reading. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Isaiah?
So, during our recent 5-year stormwater audit, we were made aware by TDEC auditors that an ordinance change needed to be made to Title 18, and this was not in error on our end. It was an update on the TDEC permit, MS4 permit, about what is considered uncontaminated discharges into the stormwater separate sewer system. So what you're seeing here is just that update reflecting exactly the TDEC MS4 permit. And it's added into our ordinance now as to keep up with changes with TDEC's permit.
Motion to approve.
All right, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 24-14, an ordinance amending the municipal code title 16, chapter 2, street, sidewalk, and drainage design standard, section 16-234, first reading. Got a motion?
Motion
To discuss.
Second?
Second.
All right.
So, recently, the changes to HDPE pipe, were made in this ordinance. However, during recent inspections of, subdivisions that are currently under construction, we require CCTV footage to be done before we accept those utilities, and we have been noticing, damages, sinking, sagging in the pipe, because they're not being properly installed. The pipe is a good material, however, the installation is the issue that we're seeing. So what we plan to do, if the board approves this, is to go ahead and remove all HDPE and put RCP, which is reinforced concrete pipe, as it provides a sturdier base, and the installation is very much more deliberate, and we will still CCTV footage, camera these lines to ensure no breaks, damages, anything like that. It's just a much more substantial pipe, and we have to take it very seriously, in my opinion.
Is that what you're gonna have to do on North Palmer for that gentleman's driveway?
More than likely, I believe that would be the case, but an engineering study would, in my opinion, need to be done on that because of the amount of water that flows through that area.
Yeah.
In my opinion, we need to at least evaluate possible box culverts in that particular area.
What kind of pipe was there before?
So it was actually a combination of pipe, believe it or not. The homeowner and his son, as I understand it, what was explained to me by the homeowner and his son is that there were actually barrel sections of a manhole that had the steps, if you will, that will allow you to enter a manhole safely. So they were used on its side, they were laid on its side and utilized as drainage, and then beyond that, a connection was made with concrete poured over top of those existing barrel sections, over top of CMP, which is corrugated metal pipe. So it was not a proper connection, and a lot of debris is backing up inside there because of the steps. So,
But our fix with this type pipe didn't work, so it's gotta be torn out and redone again.
yes, sir.
So, okay, yeah.
The amount of debris that's flowing through there is still substantial, and it's still getting caught up in those steps.
Yeah, and also if we have to upsize any other existing culverts that are under roadways, like we've discussed, we're going to be hit with that cost. But I think it's a good move, though. I think if you're seeing them fail, then we should do that. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because we've changed this before.
We have.
So it's like we needed, I think, Joe Moss wanted the concrete, and the next director came in and said, no, we can go with this other type. And you find it really isn't working that well, so.
Correct.
Going back to what the original was probably the best way to go.
In my opinion, yes, sir.
All right, we got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Purchasing, to approve or reject City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign a 5-year agreement with Loomis US for safe deposit service in the annual amount of $5,976.72. The Finance Director recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Let Dave handle this in regards to our transfer from farmers to regional. Can you explain it to you?
Yes, so currently, or not currently, because we've already switched over to regions, previously with farmers, we had Loomis take our deposits to the bank every day, and the deposit obviously would include checks and cash. With the transfer over to regions, we no longer have to take checks to the bank. We have a scanner that scans checks in high volumes and deposits electronically to our account, and so that just leaves the cash. So we still have to deposit our cash.
I have a question about that. Regions offers cash machines that you can put in the office and you can deposit the cash in, and then Loomis would pick up the cash and take it to Regions. Are we not utilizing that service?
That wasn't offered to me.
I would ask about that before we sign this contract, because it could be negotiated in the current contract we already have and save us significant money.
Okay.
I think I would ask that.
Well, there's a 6-week delay on this right now, and right now we're having to take this in our personal vehicles to the bank every day.
I understand, but if you can have a machine in the office that does it for you and picked up by Loomis, then.
I had multiple discussions with them, and that was never, Regions never offered that.
I think they included it in their presentation.
That's what I thought too.
This is what was included in the
Was it?
presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not something Regions said that they offer themselves.
It's not part of our contract.
It's not part of our
I
contract.
think I've asked this before, but how much cash are we actually getting?
We get a lot.
Average 1,500 a day.
1,500 a day. Okay.
And some days are higher than that, some days are, very much lower than that, but the average just overall for annually is about 1,500 a day.
And this is a 5-year term.
Yes.
And they're gonna pick it up every day?
No, they're picking it up once a week, but once we put it in the machine, it's no longer our cash.
Right.
It's electronically deposited to
Right.
our account, and then once they come pick it up once a week, that's their money anyway, that's Loomis's money, it's no longer,
So
doesn't belong to,
I understand that.
yeah, Regions or us.
So, could we go cashless? We take debit cards currently, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
can we,
yeah, I
should
don't
we, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the question, yeah, the rates, I don't,
Yeah, so I don't know.
Probably 10 years from now, yes.
yeah.
Right now, no.
Yeah, I don't know how much pushback that would get to as far as,
So this is a monthly fee of $498.06 that they're charging us.
yes, sir.
All right, but there's also a 7% insurance fee that I noticed, and if you look on page 125 of our packet, it says at the bottom, rates quoted do not include fluctuating fuel fee, 7% insurance fee, and taxes. So that $498.06 is not a correct amount.
Yes, sir, I'm aware of that. This is an estimate. We
Yeah.
have their bill right now. Their bill right now is about $1,000 a month. So
Yeah.
even with the fuel, and they charge fuel on the current bill too, and they're coming every day. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fuel would be significantly less with once a week rather than 4 times a week.
Of course, you also got the surprise rate adjustment they can always throw on us, and there was also one part that I've dealt with Loomis myself, I've dealt with banks my entire life. I don't trust any of them, so pardon me if I've asked a lot of questions on this deal because, I don't like the way that some of them do business. And there was one statement made in here, about let me find it here. It's about the count. So if they come and inventory the safe, their count is final. We do not have any argument with our count. So we need to be careful of that as well.
Well, the machine will count as they put it in too.
Well,
So if they're
I've
counting
seen
it
those
prior
fall.
to, I'm just saying, if they're
Yeah.
counting it prior to putting it in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that process is actually truly gonna work. Are you gonna actually enter that amount, or is the machine gonna actually count it? I'm assuming the machine will count it.
So how it works is you put the total amount of cash in that you have, and you feed it into the machine, and it has to balance. If it doesn't balance, then you've got to ticket and figure out why it doesn't balance. That's why I recommend you hand count it, dual count it before you put it in the machine.
Yes,
And then
we have multiple people
Yeah.
involved in counting cash.
Yeah, it says here regarding the services, customer acknowledges and agrees that Loomis's count of all funds verified shall be deemed correct and final.
Yeah, I don't know of any reason why the count would not be accurate.
Yeah, I understand
what you're saying. I don't know any reason why it would not be. Considering all the controls involved and all the people involved in counting and redundancy, I don't see any reason why the count would not be accurate.
It's just whenever you have multiple hands involved, there can always be mistakes, so.
But in my experience using these machines, it's actually worked out in our favor a few times because a hunter got stuck or something that didn't feed to the machine.
Right.
So actually worked out in our favor. Didn't get counted, a couple hundred stuck together, so.
discussion? Somebody wanna make a motion?
Should we go back to regions and ask them again?
If he says they didn't offer it and this is what they're offering, then I guess that's what we do.
So we're paying $1,000 a month right now for Loomis? So we're
Yes,
actually
sir.
gonna see a significant decrease then?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. All right.
Motion to approve.
All right.
Second.
Second, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. To approve or reject City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign a 5-year agreement with Digital Ally for in-car camera video cloud storage in the amount of $8,991. The police chief recommends approval. Do you have a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second,
Second.
all right.
This is an issue that has come up this year. All of our in-car cameras are automatically downloaded right now to hard drives at PD. The problem we're having now, we have so much data being downloaded as we grow. Not only are we going through several hard drives, but we're starting to lose data. This will actually be stored in the cloud, which will allow the DA's offices to pull videos for cases. We'll no longer have to burn videos. They'll find videos 3 weeks later. The DA's office will have access to these in real time. So this will absolutely save us a ton of money and time, officer effort trying to get cases put together. And also, Mr. Urban and I have been talking for a few years about body cameras, and if we implement those at some point, the body cameras would also be uploaded into the cloud with this. So
Who manages the cloud?
Digital Ally.
Digital Ally.
Yeah.
Discussion? Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. To approve or reject the purchase of a 2025 Ford Explorer from Lonnie Cobb Ford off the statewide contract number 209 in the total amount of $40,880. Police chief recommends approval. Motion?
Motion discussed.
Second,
Second.
This vehicle we discussed there, budget retreats, this particular vehicle will be for Sergeant Inc., our Community Relations Division. He presently doesn't have a vehicle. He's driving one of our oldest sedans with about 180 miles on it, 180,000 miles on it. With all the events that he does and that we're foreseeing in the future, he really does need a truck. He's borrowed one right now from Public Works, Mr. Isaiah. That thing's probably 250,000 miles on it. So this is well overdue. It's not going to be a police package vehicle, so we should be able to pick it up off the lot pretty quickly after approval.
Is this the 24 or the 25?
25.
The 25.
Yeah.
Why aren't we getting the 2024? Where are we getting the 2025?
This one is the 24, right?
And that may be a misprint. I know we're still waiting on our own police vehicles. We haven't received those yet. Those are 4 that we're still waiting on, so.
I just wonder why we're moving ahead a year.
25s will start coming out in a couple of months anyway.
Yeah. And it may be a 24. If you look down the next line, it's a 24 vehicle for Sergeant Hunter, so.
Well, that was the 2025.
Yeah.
I think you got it backwards.
Yeah.
I think they're, yeah.
Ford Explorer's going to go to,
Transposed.
Ford Explorer's going to Detective Sergeant, is that what you're saying? That's going to be the one we're on right now, see,
Yeah, this is not a truck, we're talking about the Explorer.
the truck is
Yeah.
going to be.
You're correct. The next one is the Super Crew Cab.
How many cars do we
Yeah,
actually
right.
still have?
I'm sorry?
How many cars do we actually still have?
Talking about the sedans?
Yeah.
Well, one was just totaled by a drunk driver 2 weeks ago, so I think we're down to 1,
Okay.
which has well over 100,000 miles on it, so, yeah,
We're almost there.
we're almost there.
So we kind of just discussed both of those.
We'll have to read.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject the purchase of a 2024 Ford F-150 Super Crew Cab from Lonnie Cobb Ford off the statewide contract number 209 in the total amount of $44,098. The police chief recommends approval.
Motion to approve.
All right, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject City Administrator Gerald Herman to sign a 3-year leasing agreement with Flock Safety for 4 license plate readers in the annual amount of $12,600. The police chief recommends approval. Got a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Second.
All right, this is something that Mr. Herman and myself have been discussing for about the last 3 years. And we think now with the growth that's occurred, that it's time to go to these. The prices have come down a little bit. Flock, these people get a little nervous when they hear license plate readers. They will be for investigative purposes, and there will be a strong policy in place. It's not like they would put a mayor's name if you're on vacation to see where you're going throughout the country. But just yesterday, the way these things would work, we'd start with 4. We've designated 4 areas: 31W South, 31 North, Tyree Springs, and out near the interstate for all incoming traffic. Yesterday, I got an email late yesterday afternoon. There's some vehicles in Illinois doing armed robberies at jewelry stores, and Illinois was able to utilize their flock cameras and capture the cars. They put them on a hot list, and about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, one of Portland's flock cameras alerted them that those vehicles were driving through Portland. So, we can set these things up: sex offenders, stolen vehicles, wanted persons. So it would be investigative purposes only. It's not like we would be going in there and just looking at random tags. Another issue which would really help us tremendously, not that we haven't had a robbery in a while, but typically every robbery we've had out at Secretary Sergeant 12 years, they don't just rob a store here. It's been all over Middle Tennessee. And most agencies throughout our area are utilizing Flock. So once we get the system, we'll be able to access their data also. So you're sharing data with every area that has Flock nationwide. But we had a Walgreens robbery a few years back, and the same suspect had done robberies all over Nashville and Mount Juliet, probably about 8 Walgreens stores. If we had the Flock cameras then, we would have been able to, show us a vehicle that was near our crime scene at the same time as theirs, and any vehicle that was in that area that was the same tag would pop up, and we'd have a suspect vehicle, within 10 seconds. Whereas we had to do it the old-fashioned way and draw subpoenas for the phone cell towers and try to get cell phone records, which takes months and months and months to get back. So,
So like this could also ping a tag if someone went to a bank and did suspicious things there, like suspicious cashing of checks or things like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
You'd be able to do
yes.
things like that.
If we have vehicle description, we can type in that vehicle description, and they're going to be coming into the city from probably one of those 4 locations. And it's going to pop on them. And then our goal is the next few years is we add cameras to move cameras inward, and so we would have security, throughout the entire city.
So where are you planning on putting these?
One would be on 31 South near the middle school, city limits, getting inbound traffic. One would be on 31, just south of Portland Road, getting inbound traffic. One would be on 76 down near 65, getting everybody coming in from the interstate and from Loves. And then the final one would be on Marlin Road. We wanted to put it south, it would be on Tyree Springs. We wanted to put it south of Marlin Road. Problem is, these are solar, and there's no place south of Marlin Road to get the amount of sunlight that is needed, so it's going to be just north of Marlin Road and Tyree. But Sumner County already has LPRs throughout the county. They're purchasing 24 more. Springfield is supposed to be going Flock, Greenbrier. Nashville, they're dragging their feet, but they're supposed to be going with them. All of Middle Tennessee is going to be Flock. We were looking at the map with the representative the other day, and it's pretty impressive. All of Middle Tennessee will be on. There's some.
How do your officers get pinged, or how do they?
It would send it to the laptops in the cars.
So they have like software on there.
It would be software and be a hot list. So, and our biggest thing, we've been real lucky too. If you look at other issues, I'll take Henderson for example. They're just getting eat up with car burglaries. And these kids are stealing cars out of Nashville coming up, and then darting back down to Davidson County. And our hope, if they come up here with a stolen vehicle at 2 in the morning, we're going to get alerted right away. Hey, stolen vehicle just passed the middle school on 31 or just got off the interstate. We can go locate the car and get them out of here before they commit any burglaries. We're not going to pursue them, but it'd be nice just to get them out of here before they're able to victimize anybody.
How about registered owners, if they had a warrant for their arrest?
Yeah, I mentioned that. If the registered owner of that tag has a warrant for his arrest, it will alert us automatically. Like I said, sex offenders, you can dial in the parameters pretty much of what you would like to see. But as we move forward, if we had them in the park, definitely, you want to know, hey, it's a sex offender at 2 in the afternoon pulling into our city park or the soccer complex, those type of things. So, again, it's investigative only. I mean, officers can run tags all day long from a car, and this really isn't much different, except we're getting every car coming into the city, and the data is in real time as far as, you know, what we're looking for, so.
How long is the data maintained for?
That would be up to us to set the parameters. We haven't decided that yet. Could be 30 days, could be 6 months. You know, we'll probably get, well, it depends on
You
the
have to
policy.
pay for the amount of data that you.
Yeah, we'll never reach it though.
Yeah.
And so we're in the process now of writing a policy, so, you know, we'll put in policy, I'm not gonna let you guys know what, you know, the retention period will be. We're just gonna, you know, follow everyone else's policies and adjust it to our own.
Is Flock like on a certified list with TBI as being one of the ones that are allowed to tap into the, you know, NCIC stuff?
Well, Flock, yes, that would be our data. Flock is not allowed to get into NCIC. All the other data belongs to them. But once the tag comes to us, they do get the stolen car information and, you know, yes,
Then
certain information, yes, they're certified.
But they're not automatically connecting into the TBI system then? right?
No, there's the clearinghouse somehow that they do it, but.
All right.
Does the software have an audit trail, so you can go back?
Absolutely,
You
yes,
have
and like I said, this would be the same, I'm not gonna mention any cities that are using portals, but, you know, it would be, an extremely strict policy, and yes, just like our NCIC, or just like our DL portals, and you know, ROCIC, every officer will have their own, login code, and absolutely, if when you do an audit, it would take literally 10 seconds to see what someone's doing.
So it's vehicles that are involved in criminal activity is what you're looking for?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
And that's the only thing that's going into the system?
Mm-hmm. But we're not actually putting, the only thing that we would put in
Is it
is
you?
if
Something that happens.
we had a robbery.
Right.
Right, and the best part of that, if we put a hot list tag in there, hey, we had a robbery, we identified this car, because we put in a hot list nationwide, when that car hits someone else's LPR through Flock, because it's on the hot list, they're automatically gonna get alerted that it's there. So yeah, nobody's private information is being put in there, it's strictly investigative.
The mayor's, of course. Isn't that what you said, the mayor?
No, I said, yeah, it wasn't like we put his tag in, you know, hey, he's going on vacation, let's see what cameras he hits all over Florida.
I mean, it's pretty
Keith, does that have to be
inconspicuous.
entered by an administrator, this information that they may be gathering on the street as their day's going? Or can an officer be trained, entering in data to learn?
All the officers will be trained, but we're probably gonna put in policy that before any data gets entered, either the on-shift sergeant or the detective sergeant, so we don't have every officer starting to put things on a hot list, we don't want
Should be
that.
on there, yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be,
Supervisor.
yeah, so it'll be structured to where,
That's
you
a
know,
great idea.
supervisor only.
Yeah. I'm glad to see this presented to us, and hopefully we'll implement it. We discussed it a little bit at the budget retreat, and thank you for putting it together and presenting it to us.
We got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Motion carries. To approve or reject the purchase of the 2023 Chevrolet 5500 truck with utility bed from Wilson County Motors off the statewide contract number 209 in the total amount of $83,586.64. Public Services Director recommends approval. Do I have a motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
So this truck will be, if approved, we will utilize this to augment the current fleet that we have. As we have more and more stormwater needs throughout the city, we see the need to increase the fleet in order to transport all crew members to a job site. We see this as a more efficient way to be able to transport equipment to a job site that maybe would not necessarily need to have material hauled off from the site, which would eliminate the need for the tri-axle dump truck that we currently have that is needed on larger projects from having to haul that equipment into smaller areas. So this truck would have the capability to haul any and all equipment we have because of the weight of the vehicle and how it is designed, as well as the fact that it does have the bed that is currently on it. I realize that in the spec sheet here, it shows a cabin chassis, but Wilson County Motors outfitted it with a bed on it already. It is a utility bed so that our stormwater crew members would be able to store any and all tools that they would need for
The MSRP is 83,586. The actual purchase price is 63,039.24. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes, it was,
Contract.
it was just a misprint there, the pricing that is identified that we utilize for this contract is what is considered VQ2 pricing on the contract there. Thank you, Derek. So that is what is called the state contract pricing. I don't know what the VQ2 stands for, I really don't, but that is the one that was identified by Wilson County Motors as the purchase price. So it's I got the number here.
I typed up the wrong number for the agenda, so it's actually
$63.39.
Okay.
$39.24.
Correct.
And it's
And it's available now? I mean, it's a 2023.
Right.
It is, yeah. So Wilson County Motors had purchased from GM a certain fleet of vehicles. That's just how Wilson County Motors decided to utilize their state contract pricing. So we were fortunate in that it's sitting on the lot right now.
And they want to get rid of it.
It's on the lot?
It's on the lot. It's sitting on Wilson County's lot. If it's approved,
Okay.
we could have it next week, essentially.
It's 63,000.
Okay.
That's correct, yes. The total, because we utilized the state contract pricing, it was $20,547 less than the MSRP.
Okay, that makes sense.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Everybody.
Not all at once.
Everybody.
Good luck, Derek. Good luck, Derek. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. To approve or reject purchase of 25 sets of Fire Dex firefighter turnout gear, PPE, from Siddons Martin Emergency Group off the Sourcewell Cooperative Contract number 010424-FDX, and the total amount of $79,755. Fire Chief recommends approval. Is that motion?
Motion to discuss.
Second?
Second.
Chief?
So basically, this is to buy all new firefighting gear, coat and pants. It will cover all of our firefighters. Our turnout gear actually has a life of 10 years. Currently, we have, some people have gear that's 9 years old, some that has gear that's 2 years old, and this will just get it consistent across the board. It'll also give them a second set of turnout gear, which is something we've never had in the past. So if they get into a situation they need to wash their gear early on in their 24-hour shift, they have another set of gear to go into, basically is what this will do.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No other business? Oh, we do have other business. We've got two board appointments. Emily McCormick to the library board, who I know Elizabeth has reviewed and is happy with, and then John Wilson on the beer board, replacing John Curry. Any issues with these appointments? All right. We have to vote on this? Okay. All right, got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. No discussion items, no other information. We are adjourned.
Jerry, I'm glad to see no one stole my umbrella.
Well,